You know what's crazy though?
What's that?
Can't you really be telling Mark to slat niggas?
Yeah. No, he's that voice in your head. You know when you like just he's that voice in your head when you're holding like a baby or something, and it's the voice is like throw it, drop it now.
Oh, yo.
Look, see them hating ass niggas talking, tell them niggas stop it. Move back, baby, run down Texas. Off the perky, boy, I'm dangerous. I'm in a double R, shit look like a spaceship. Everything is undone. Should've posted my mess.
Welcome to the Redacted Show. Yes, sir. We're back better than ever.
Back like we never left.
I'm your host, Feeq, with my co-host.
Dane. This is John. Back from the dead. Yeah, I was sick, sick as a dog last week, man. That's why we didn't make no episode. I was out of there.
Boy's fighting for his life. Yes, sir.
I was.
And
back for y'all boys, back for your beautiful ears. You know what I'm saying? Fill y'all's ears with some righteous content of, Marvel, DC, anime, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
some life tips here and there, but as we always say, take them with a grain of salt.
With a grain of salt. Don't want to oversalt the meal. All right, so today, coming at y'all with our top for today will be about MoonKnight. The previous two episodes, so episode 2 and episode 3, those came out recently, with episode 3 being the latest one. So we're going to go through those, talk about those, talk about where the show's leading, different theories, different, I guess, Easter eggs we saw throughout episodes 2 and 3, and, how we feel about the show so far. So just going to get straight into it. But before we do, make sure y'all follow us on all platforms, on all social media, at The Redacted Show on all platforms. Make sure you're sharing us with your friends. We're on all listening platforms, so it goes from Apple Podcasts to Spotify to anything that's on that little buzz feed. You know what I'm saying?
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We would be on Pandora. That's processed to get on Pandora. I'm not gonna lie, that junk says, yeah, it takes 2 to 5 weeks. I say
2 to 5 weeks.
So we're still waiting
a whole month.
The episode is still the very first episode is still pending and being processed by them. So
wow.
But yeah, we're on Google Podcasts also, and then a whole bunch of other platforms. So yeah, just tune in, rate us 5 stars if you want. You don't got to.
No, you have to.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, rate us 5 stars. It helps us. It really helps us move up in the algorithms of people searching for shows, and it helps us find new listeners.
Yes, sir. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. So with the start of episode 2, we left off with immediately after Mark was done beating the jackal that was summoned by Arthur Harrow's character, the Arthur Harrow character. And then we see him going to the museum later on and talking to the security guy, and pretty much going through the scene. And this is when we get our first introduction of like, okay, this is kind of all in his head, because there's nothing really on the camera. You don't see the monster. You don't even see him in the MoonKnight costume. You just kind of see him standing there looking like an emoji.
Yeah. But man, Planet. I think it's would that be? I think that was just showing how. I think showing how it's in his head, but also showing how you have to be mythical or whatever. Not mythical, but like on that plane to see the actual creatures or whatever.
I guess possibly like maybe only avatars can see that, and we'll get into that later when we talk about episode 3. But yeah, it could be that too. So then after that, pretty much loses his job because people think he's crazy. And then we kind of see how the dude he's talking to gives him a pamphlet of the place or some like a mental hospital, pretty much, institution or something like that.
Yeah, he pretty much would tell him, yeah, you need to go to the crazy house, man.
Yeah. So loses his job, goes back home, and I think this is when we first get introduced to Lila, who in the comics, So in the comics, she's the character that we get in the MCU is different than one in the comics because Mark Spector is married in the comics, but it's to a person named, I think it's like Maria or something like that.
I think it's with an M.
Yeah, something with an M.
I'll look it up.
But I think the way they're doing her character is like a combination of that Martha or Maria character with the dad, who was an archaeologist. Because Lila is an archaeologist. We see that they have previous past doing that stuff when they were both Mark Spector. Obviously, we know they're married. So I think that's who her character is because it's a different take from the one in the comics. So we get introduced to her. She's meets Steven at the time. We don't know. No, I'm skipping ahead. Before that, he goes to their little. He goes to Steven's.
He goes to his house, or apartment.
Well,
loft.
We go to his loft,
Flat.
and then goes to Mark Spector's storage unit and sees pretty much all of Mark Spector's stuff.
Yeah,
and then
he sees the passports, the guns, and he's just like, "What is this?" What is this?
He's like, "This ain't mine, nigga." And the dude, even at the front, he's like, "Oh yeah, I know you," and he's like, "You do?"
He was like, "Yeah, unit. I think it's 34 or something.
Yeah,
20
some unit." Just doubling down on the fact that Steven does not know what's going on. And clearly he's living a double life, and it's just not regular sleepwalking. And he's starting to realize that. So, and then I think the way that they're doing it in the show is every time he's in a reflective area, that's when the other personalities show.
Yeah.
So that's when he's able to communicate with them and actually see them. So when he's in there, he's talking to Mark in the mirror and kind of explains, like, gives a little bit of the backstory of, who he is a little bit. Obviously, we don't get the full details, but
yeah, we get the condensed Cornell Note summary version.
Yeah,
Quizlet.
Definitely Cornell Notes version. But then we get that idea of kind of just like their dynamic of the Steven and Mark relationship. Kind of how they're going back and forth. Like, oh, I want this body. I want this body.
Yeah, or don't do this. You need to do this. XYZ.
Yeah, and just, Steven being resilient, and we kind of see how that kind of comes back to bite him.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. That second episode, I'll talk about how it kind of changes in the third, but that second episode, I did not like Steven, bro. I was like, bro,
yeah,
please.
I
said, please shut up, bro.
I think we got a good servant of Steven in the first episode. But so after that, after the warrant, wow.
The warrant?
After the storage unit, that's when we meet Lila, and then they go to his flat again, and then that's when we go into the part where the cops come in. They search in his flat, whatever. Yeah,
because right before then, pretty much he has the scarab that points to Amat's tomb.
Yeah,
and then Mark was pretty much like, don't show her it. And
then
Steven was just like. He actually didn't show her to her because he was about to, and then Mark was like, if you show it to her, they'll kill her. And then Steven paused for a second.
Yeah.
And he put it down, but then she obviously grabbed the bag.
Saw it anyway,
She grabbed the bag and it just was just like, oh, you're trying to find it on your own and all this stuff.
Yeah, just, being I ain't about to say it. But
she's being too curious.
Yeah. And you know what curiosity did to the cat? Stupid ass. But so after the cops come in and pretty much like I think they take him to where Arthur Harrow and them are at.
Yeah, because because when they break in, they're just like, "Are you alone?" He's just like, "Yeah, I'm alone. I'm alone." And then after that, Layla, she escapes through the window. And she still has the scarab. But then they show their arms and it got the Amat's symbol.
Yeah.
And then they put them in the truck, whatever that car was. And then they take them to Arthur Harrow's character. Yeah. In their little community. It's like a different one from the first one we saw, because the first one was in that country's the country's field that we still don't know the exact country yet, but in the new one, it was like a town. It was like a back corner of a town almost. It was like a back street.
Yeah, back street in London. It just kind of goes to show like they got bases everywhere. Like obviously Arthur Harrow's. We're starting to see like the influence that Arthur Harrow has in the world. So he got reach everywhere for all we know. But so yeah, they go to that base. They kind of see, I guess this is like his main base, because this is the same place that we see in the, like, at the beginning of the very first episode. If you remember that, when he put the walking to the front, and it was that area. So it was that same area, and then he's kind of explaining to him, like, oh, you know, kind of swaying Steven, because he's talking to Steven at this point in time, to, like, you know, like, you don't have to be Khonshu's servant, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was his Fist of Vengeance at 1.2, and then
I work for Khonshu too. He's throwing a tantrum right now, isn't he?
Yeah. Kill him.
He's telling you to kill me right now, right?
Right. Yeah. Just kind of mocking Khonshu as he's talking to Steven, and, you know, Steven, I'm pretty sure, like, he thinks he's normal. He just wants to be a normal guy, when it's like, you were kind of created and just doesn't really know who he is, obviously. Yeah. But
those the little parts where Khonshu was saying that shit, like, kill him, snap his neck. No, that joke was funny.
That was funny.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I was bursting out laughing when he was saying that stuff.
Yeah, but so as he's doing that, he's still trying to convince Khonshu, like, he's not a good person, and, like, he's really not in the comics. Like, he's definitely lives up to his name of, like, the God of Vengeance, while also being the moon god and things like that, and very spiteful and, you know, kind of petty. But like, there's other worse guys that we'll see later on with Amit.
Yeah.
Once I'm pretty sure they're gonna release her.
Yeah.
But so that happens. Layla breaks in, and, you know, Squabble fights out, and then they reveal. Well, then Arthur Harrow brings out another jackal, and then they're at the top, and then Layla tells her to summon a suit. So obviously Steven doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Like, what are you talking about? And then fast forward, this is when we get Mr. Knight. So what it seems like in the MCU show, it seems like what they're doing is kind of making it like, when Steven goes Moon Knight mode, it's Mr. Knight. Yeah. When Mark Spector goes Moon Knight mode, it's Moon Knight. Because in the comics, Moon Knight is, for those who don't know, like the Matches Malone character, like the Matches Malone Marvel version of Mark Spector. For those who don't know who Matches Malone is, like, he's the, like, ground level alter ego of Bruce Wayne in the DC comics. So pretty much he's like the he's the local cab driver, like Jake Lockley, like the detective style person, like things like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much who Mr. Knight is, and also, I guess, on the back end, like, kind of who Jake Lockley is, which we'll get into later in, like, episode 3 when we talk about that. But
yeah,
so we get that, but I think they're just combining, like, just making it.
They're condensing it.
Yeah, condensing it, and I low-key think that's better, because the more personalities we get in this show, the harder it'll be for, like, non-comic book readers and just fans of Moon Knight to just understand the character. Cause
it'll be harder for the average person to kind of digest in 6 episodes. Yeah, oh shit, I gotta figure out 5 different personalities.
Yeah, exactly. And it low-key would be harder for Oscar Isaac too, the actor, just to manage all the roles in one person. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a fantastic job.
No, he's killing. Like,
shout out to Oscar Isaac.
I'm gonna talk about it a little more when we get to episode 3. But he's killing this role. It was a specific scene.
I think I know what you're talking about too. That was crazy. Him and even Ethan Hawkins too. Like, they're killing their role. But so I think that's what they're doing with the Mr. Knight character. I'm not mad at it. I understand it was a lot of controversy when that did happen, like, in the show. They're like, what the heck is this? Like, why are we getting this goofy ass? Oh,
you talking about when they showed
like, when they show Steven as basically Mr. Knight. I'm not mad at it, because
it makes sense though.
The reason why I said, like, obviously make it simpler.
Yeah, for the regular
average
person.
viewer.
Yeah. But, so when Mr. Knight shows up, they're in a parking lot. not parking lot, was a street pretty much, and he's fighting a jackal. But it goes back to the beginning part of that episode when he was in like the museum and people couldn't see the jackal. So it's like that again. So he's in his Mr. Knight costume, and he's obviously like he's swinging at the jackal, but everybody, the normal person, is just like, oh, is he a drunk? Is he a drunkard?
Yeah,
They're like,
a drunkard.
They're like, he's a street performer. So he's fighting the jackal, getting thrown around while people can't actually see the jackal. Mm-hmm. And then it was an Easter egg on top of the So at one point he gets thrown into a bus, right, and he punches the jackal, and then Mark's like, that was a pretty nice punch. But then on the top of the bus, it says I think it says WB something, and that stands for
it was like WBN.
Yeah, and that stands for Werewolf by Night, and then that was the comic number.
Yeah, it was like 032, which was like I think that issue.
Yeah,
the comic.
Yeah, like the issue that he got introduced. So, and there's more instances where they have stuff saying like WB or werewolf or something like that. That's just hinting, or just not even hinting. It's telling you, yeah, he's gonna pop up.
Yeah, I'm about to say this. They're telling you without telling you he's gonna show up sooner or later. We'll get into that later on in the episode, but yeah, so that's happening. As he's fighting him, we kind of see Steven and Mark going back and forth for control, and then finally Steven caves in and is like, all right,
give me the suit.
You can have the body. Just give it to me.
Yeah,
just give it to me.
Did he get like thrown or some shit? He's like, all right,
no, Steven was getting whooped. Like he had that one good punch in, and then the jackal was kind of going to work. I'm like, all right, bro, they kind of dragged on that fight a little too much, and then when they brought in Mark, I was like, all right, yes, clean this up, please. So after he kills him, after he kills the jackal, he fades away. So it seems like when they kill these, like, I guess, conjurings, they just kind of fade away back to their plane.
Yeah, they turn all these to dust almost.
Yeah.
Or sand, I guess. That would make better sense.
Yeah, because obviously all these different like things, and even Ahmed, they're in like their own, they're in their own plane. So because Ahmed's not in, she's not in the MCU yet. They're trying to bring her in the MCU. She's in like her own pocket dimension. Same with like all the other Egyptian pantheon guys, the Ennead. They're in their own like pocket plane dimension. That's in the comics. It's actually shaped like one of the pyramids.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
That's kind of hard. I'm not gonna
lie. So pretty much that brings us like closing out the episode. We see that Mark loses the scarab, and the homeless person finds it, and then Arthur Harrow pretty much still like, yeah, I'm gonna have to run that off you.
Yeah, did he kill the homeless dude?
Yes, he's like, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and log off for me.
He's like, I'm gonna need you to. Nah, that's crazy.
It's like, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and log off for me.
You do that quick look back over your shoulder. Nah, and didn't it end with Mark killing the jackal? I know that's a little. This was a little bit before. Then he killed the jackal on that little stage area thing. Was this when he was screaming, like yelling?
Yes,
pissed off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because he killed him at the top of that little peak, and then he was still down there.
Yeah,
looking for the scarab, and then that's when he screamed.
Yeah, and that's when. Oh, and then that's also when Steven was in the That's when Steven was in the mirror, right? For the first time, like for the first real time.
Yeah, for the first time he was in like that little area. And I think they're gonna explore that in like episode 4, which we'll kind of get into later on in the episode. But
I don't like it here.
Yeah, I'm taking my buddy back. But that reminded me of you seen that like Plankton TikTok where he just screaming, he's like. For those who watch TikTok, y'all will probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But that should have been funny, but that was funny.
No, that man.
He was like, "Yeah." Basically, Mark was like, "Yeah, you ain't getting this back for a good minute."
That man Steven said, "How long have you been in here?"
Yeah, Mark low-key did the audience a favor.
But or at least for the end of the episode.
That episode in episode 3. So
and then it ends off with him
kind of
drinking And he woke up in Egypt. Yeah. I was trying to make sure.
In Cairo. So what was funny was after, like, when they showed that at the end of episode 2, like, for some reason, I don't know why, and I don't think this will happen, but my mind, like, it instantly went to, like, X-Men Apocalypse. So I'm like, oh, snap, you know, like, the Great Pyramids they're in Egypt, they're in Cairo, you know, Apocalypse or in Sabah, he was in Cairo at the time, and he was the X-Men's first mutant on Earth.
Oh, true.
So I was thinking like, oh man, that'd be cool if they did some like Apocalypse Easter eggs, and it'd be funny because obviously we know Oscar Isaac was Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse.
He was.
Yeah. So that's what made me
that terrible.
I don't know why my mind went to that, but how that was. I don't think they'll do any like Easter eggs towards that. Or
they gotta throw in something. He gotta go to a cafe called Apocalypse. That would be funny. Just something subtle.
Yeah. So that's what I thought at the end of episode 2. Overall, I did enjoy episode 2. I'm pretty sure, like, pretty much by the end of episode 2, we realized, like, okay, we're getting some Mark Spector now, which was, I guess, a relief, I'd say.
Yeah, because Steven makes up for it in this upcoming episode, but those first 2, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I don't know if I can watch him act like this all 6 episodes.
Like, come on, man, fight back, shake back.
I need him to do something. I need him to show why he's important.
Yeah, yeah, because they definitely were setting up him being like the main protagonist, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but. Yeah, so obviously that brings us to episode 3. At the start of that, you know, immediately he's chasing some more Amit followers in Cairo, trying to find where Arthur Harrow is. Well, pretty much trying to get to Amit's tomb before him.
Yeah, because pretty much they start off, not start off, but I don't remember when the part when they showed this, but pretty much they showed Arthur Harrow and his followers, they pretty much, since they got the scarab, they know where to dig.
Yeah.
But Mark doesn't, because obviously he doesn't have the
That
scarab.
nigga free balling.
Yeah, so
He raw dogging it.
so pretty much Arthur Harrow and his little goon squad, they got the scarab, they found out where to dig, so they started digging, and then it goes to the part where Mark is searching for like who can give him a direction at least, and then he finds these 3 dudes, well, 2 dudes and a kid, on top of
on top of a building.
Yeah, and they kill somebody that he was like, pretty much he jumps on top of the building and he was like, and they kill him. They kill this random guy. Yeah. And then he was just like, I needed to talk to that guy. And then they just start fighting. And after that.
Well, then after that, it cuts to him in a cab. And then it cuts to him like phasing out, like in the first episode when Steven would phase into Mark or Mark Spector.
Yeah.
So it phased into the other personality. I thought it was Steven Grant at first, but we learned that it was a third personality. So
yeah, we still don't know who it is yet.
Well, I'm assuming it's a Jake Lockley character, but obviously a different. Pretty sure they're going to be doing like a different take on this Jake Lockley character.
Yeah, because one thing. My bad, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I just remember when you said like he phased. When they were fighting on the roof, one dude had a knife that was silver, and when he looked at it, Steven was just like, "Stop, Mark! Don't do this." And then that's he looked at it. Then it started doing that little phase,
started
shaking
phasing
of the
into
screen, and that's when it went
started
to the cab.
disassociating.
Yeah, then it went to the cab, and he woke up.
Yeah, he was like, "What the?"
He was like, "How the hell I get here?"
I thought that was a cool touch of them showing how it was for each personality. Like them disassociating with like Steven and the Mark character. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I also thought like it was like cool showing that, you know, there is this third personality that's more dark than Mark.
That's more aggressive.
Yeah, more aggressive. So I'm pretty sure it'll be a Jake Lockley. I don't know if they'll name it Jake Lockley. I kind of hope they do, just, you know, for...
Yeah, they at this point, they might as well.
Yeah. Now, I don't think it'll be like the same one, but like the same type of character, but just a more darker side of Mark.
Yeah, and then it goes after the cab part, he sees like the people he beat up, and he's like, wait, what happened? They were like, you let us go, and then he starts whooping their ass again, but then they knock him out. And then when he wakes up, is he Mark? He's Mark again, right?
Yes.
Because he wakes up near that ledge.
Yeah, he's Mark again, and then he's like realized that he killed the guy.
Yeah. Because when he wakes up, he kills the two older dudes, and then he's just looking at his hands, and he's like, and this is Mark talking. He's just like, "What happened?" And Steven was like, "You did this, Mark," and he was like, "No, I didn't."
And he was like, I was like, when he said that, I was like, if you didn't do it, then who did?
Yeah, because at first he was like, "Steven, what'd you do?" Even me, I was like, "What the fuck did Steven do?" I said, "Steven Wild."
I was like, that was tweaking right now.
I said, "This nigga off a perk."
That is not Steven. That is Tyrone.
Nah, and then pretty much they're still confused because they don't know both don't know what happened.
People don't know what's going on.
But then Khonshu was in the background, like, because at this point it's a kid. So he's holding the kid, and then Khonshu's like, take him to the ledge. When Khonshu said,
drop the baby.
Khonshu said, take him to the ledge. I said, oh, shit. And then Mark pretty much takes him to this ledge. He's holding him. And he just like, where's damn, why I forgot his name. Where's old dude and his crew? Pretty much.
Arthur Harrow.
Yeah, where's Arthur Harrow and his crew? And the dude's like, Amat will live, or he said something. He doesn't say that. He said something
like,
else.
Long live Amit or something like that.
Yeah. And then
or praise Amit. Yeah,
he says praise Amit, and then he cuts his he's wearing a scarf and he has a knife in his pocket. He cuts the scarf and he falls and dies. When that happened, I said, "Yo," and then Khonshu was like, "Well, I didn't think he." What did Khonshu say?
He was like, "I didn't think he'd do that." That's basically what Khonshu said. He's like, "I didn't think he'd do that, nigga."
When Khonshu said that, I'm not gonna lie, I lost it. He said, "Well,
I didn't know he'd do that. I didn't know he had the balls."
For real. And then after that, they go to they pretty much are like, okay, we have to figure out a new way to get the source of information. Mm-hmm. And then that's when he started looking for the black market. Correct?
Yeah, the dark webs. So that's when they so before that's when they summon like the council. So
true.
Khonshu was like, all right, yeah, I'm starting to get desperate. So that's when he pretty much adjusts the sky to call the gods together, and then they go into the Great Pyramid of Giza and they meet. That's when the council summons. So now obviously you see not all the gods are there because the tomb's not there, also known as Amun Ra. Mm-hmm. He's not there. It's just like Horus, Heifer, Heftar.
Yeah.
I say heifer. Wow.
Talking about cows?
And someone else like
the music
few
one.
other
I forgot her
guys.
name.
But so this is a good glimpse as to us like seeing when they showed this. I was like, yo, we about to see like all these dudes.
I thought Black Panther was about to show up.
Yeah. So that's another thing.
No, in my mind, I was like, this would be really wild if they just show somebody in a Black Panther suit just walk in.
Initially, I saw like the African one speak, and I was like, I initially think like Black Panther, but I was like, no, that can't be right because technically the Bass avatar would be Black Panther or whoever Black Panther is at the time, whoever they decide in Wakanda forever. But so that was just another god, but it'll be interesting to see how they tie into that because Bass, for those who don't know, she did start off in the Egyptian pantheon and then kind of broke off and became like her own little, I guess, god amongst the Panther tribe in Wakanda. Mm-hmm. So that's where she gets her powers from their praise and from obviously giving the power to the Panther god.
I was trying to look at all the statues that were there because even if the god wasn't summoned, the statues were still there. I mean, not summoned. If their avatars wasn't there, some of their statues were still there. Was her statue there? I couldn't really tell.
I couldn't really tell either. It might have been, but it was probably someone that did some search that we can look online. I didn't see it personally.
I was gonna say if it's not there, that might tie into what you're talking about.
Yeah,
her like they could be like, oh yeah, she's banished now, or she's just not part of the faction.
Yeah. So this is a I was definitely psyched when I saw this. Like this would definitely. I think it'd be crazy if we see like one of the gods in person, like maybe Hefar, whatever her name is, the one that was saying that she was very close with Khonshu back in their days, back in the Gap. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're gonna show Amit.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna show Amit,
yeah,
and then maybe like one other one.
Was Horus's avatar there?
Yes, he was the one that was kind of leading that council, like leading that one.
Ra's avatar there or no?
Nah, not Atum, not Amon Ra.
Okay,
he wasn't there. It was just the other ones.
Okay,
Osiris, I think, was there, or Isis, or Isis.
Is that?
It was either Osiris or
different.
Isis.
It's two different names for that.
Probably both of them. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch, but. So yeah, and then we also kind of got a glimpse of their powers, like when Mark was about to strike Arthur Harrow, and then Horus basically was like, "No violence in the courtroom."
Yeah, he did. He binded his
yeah.
arm.
I was like, "Yo, this is just from a Avatar." So, in the comics, the gods, like at least like the Egyptian pantheon, the India, they don't really have avatars. Like Khonshu was the only one to have
an avatar.
So
okay. Oh, so
they're
this
kind
is
of doing
something
something
new.
different in the MCU, and I kind of like it actually. And it makes sense as to why they didn't do anything when Thanos pretty much snapped half of all life in the universe. And they even explained that they're like, we don't intervene with affairs of man, kind of on some like Celestial and Eternals type shit.
Yeah, that's like they trying to be like the Watcher.
Yeah, but they not.
You know what's crazy? Whenever they show like new groups are supposed to be like either gods or just like these people that's supposed to be like overseers, all of them are just like, yeah, we don't interfere with the things of mortals. I'm just like, bro, why are all y'all here then?
I say y'all could have.
It'd be hundreds of them. Talk about we don't
interfere with the affairs of man.
I'm like, damn.
So half of y'all niggas were snapped.
So
technically they couldn't have been snapped because they weren't in the MCU, so they weren't snapped. That's why they weren't. I guess that's why they didn't care, because they were like, I mean,
yeah, I guess they're not really in the universe.
They're not in the universe to be snapped, to be affected by Thanos's snap and the blip. So
yeah, that shit.
That's
still crazy though.
Yeah, but so we see that little court trial going on, and Arthur Harrow pretty much grilling Mark Spector, putting him on blast, and Khonshu pretty much at the same time.
Yeah,
like as he's talking about Khonshu, she's subliminally talking about Mark as well. Like now they're both broken. How Khonshu's taking advantage of this man. How pretty much, I mean, he was spitting, but at the same time, it's like, you know, that's not the reason why he's here.
Yeah,
he pretty much was gaslighting old dude.
Liar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pretty much was just saying like what Dane was pretty much saying that since Mark has the split personalities, Khonshu used that to take advantage of him. And then at one point, when Khonshu was still talking, one of the other gods was pretty much like, we just want to speak to Mark Spector.
Yeah.
And then that's when he was like, are you a troubled man? And he was like, yes, but that's not what we're here for.
Yeah. He was like, as soon as you said yes, you're fried.
Yeah. And then as soon as he said that, they're just like, oh, we have nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. So then that's when that happened, and then they pretty much took matters in their own hands and went to old dude's spot, the Midnight Man character. So this the guy that they went to see that tomb, he's a character in the comics. His name goes by Midnight Man. He's not like a big character, but he was like a MoonKnight villain for a little while, and yeah. Unfortunately, the actor who played that character in the show did pass away. So, yeah, he did.
Like just now?
Like recently.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
The one who played old dude, the young dude?
Yeah, the one in the red, like the red robe. Yeah.
He passed away for real?
Yeah, he died.
When?
I don't know. It was recent.
It had to be like last week.
Yeah, but So I don't know how, like, what they're gonna do with that character, even if they even did have plans for that Midnight Man character to begin with.
Midnight Suns.
But he was like on the level of like Swordmaster in Hawkeye. Like he was just kind of there.
Okay.
So
he's a good. He's a good side. That character is a good side character, pretty much.
Yeah. So we see them get introduced to him, and we see that they are going to this man's pretty much mansion to get the clues from the tomb.
Yeah, because it's a tomb that they found out about that. Pretty much it has the coordinates on how to find.
Yeah,
the tomb, Amit's tomb. So once they get there, they're introduced to him, and pretty much they have these fake identities, Mark and Layla.
Yeah,
and then
which don't work.
Yeah, which don't work at all. But once they go in there, Mark. So the difference between Mark and Steven. So Mark is all combat. Steven is all brain. Steven knows about all the Egyptian. He knows all about the Egyptian gods. We got all that information. Episode 1 when he was working and talking in the museum. You could tell he's like a brainiac for this stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty much Mark is looking at the little maps and like constellations on
and not
cloths.
know what he's looking at.
Yeah. And so inside this inside the area they're at, it's like windows and stuff. So obviously he can see his reflection. So he's like, Steven, help me out. And Steven at first is like, I don't think I will.
He's like, I'll help you if you give me the body back. He's like, I can't do that, buddy.
Yeah, but then it gets to a point where Steven does help him. And so they start figuring out different points. But at the same time, once they start getting a little closer, the main bodyguard for the Midnight, what's his name again?
Midnight Man.
The Midnight Man. His main bodyguard pulls up and is like, what are you doing? And then Mark immediately disarms his gun and points it at him. And they're all just like, yeah, you're tweaking, bro.
Yeah.
And then that's when, what's his name pulls up? Arthur Harrold. Yeah, Arthur Harrold's character and his goon squad pull up. And then they start doing their 360 deal, impersonation and agreements to, dude.
Yeah. So then that's when they get into the combat. It seemed like Arthur Harrold destroyed the tombs, but we found out later on like they still got the pieces to find like the tombs. But so they find or whatever. Moon Knight comes out, and we also get a glimpse of Moon Knight disassociating into Mr. Knight. So I thought that was very cool too, just seeing like those different instances when they disassociate per character. And I'm not gonna lie, when Mark was getting stabbed, like impaled from the thing, I'm like, damn.
Nah, when he was getting lit
up, I was like, bro.
Yeah, because
what are you doing?
Because when he was getting shot, I was like, okay, he could block bullets. Okay, it's cool. And then he threw some of the bullets back. I said, okay, this is live. But then when they started impaling him, I said, yo.
Yeah, I was like, they low key turned into some Game of Thrones type shit.
Yeah, and then pretty much he was getting impaled, and then I guess that's just trying to show us how strong Khonshu's healing armor is.
Yeah,
because he talked about it too. I think it was either episode 2 or the beginning of that episode. Khonshu was just like, well, without my healing armor, you wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was at the beginning of this 3rd episode.
Yeah, so Mark's getting impaled, and then Layla's about to get killed. But then he ends up saving her. They end up leaving. Then they go to the desert. So in the desert, that's when they start.
That's when they start piecing the maps together, because Mark finally gives control to Steven, and this is when we start realizing like, okay, I can't do all of this by myself. This is when we start realizing that they kind of need one another. Thank you. It's been a long day.
So pretty much Mark is about to give control to Steven, because on the pieces of cloth they have is constellations, but it's pretty much constellations from like 200 years ago, or like 2,000
years ago. A very long time.
Yeah. And
it's stars change.
The scene I wanted to talk about was the scene when Mark gives control to Steven, because the way he does, he walks away with a piece of cloth, and he rips off the car mirror, so obviously he could talk to him. And so he's Khonshu in the background, like, don't give him control. Don't give him control, being Khonshu. And so Mark looks at it. He's like, all right, you can have control, Steven. And then he does like a little shudder or like a little shake. And then he switches the voice immediately. And then he's just like, all right, thank you very much.
Yeah, I was like,
that scene, I don't like, you have to, if you haven't seen the episode, you won't understand. But like that scene, seeing that whole, I was like, all right, bro.
yeah, I was trying to get it in his bag.
I said, you're in your duffel, my nigga.
Emmy nominee for this show, goddamn. Like that was.
Hold on, bro. Let me.
Go ahead, you're in. Cheers, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah, no, that scene solidified. I was like, all right, bro. Whatever award, please give it to him now. But after that, they pretty much find out that, okay, the night, since that was from 2,000 years ago, the constellations now are different because obviously it moves.
Yeah,
time.
Stars move, time lapses and things of that nature.
So pretty much Khonshu says, like, while they're like Steven, because Steven is still in control right now, while Steven and Layla's are talking, pretty much like, okay, how will we figure out how the night looked back then? Khonshu just says kind of silently or like low. He's like, Khonshu's like, I remember every night. Yeah. And then they just like, he kind of starts walking away, and then he
kind of said that kind of sad too. He was like, he said that knowing, this is about to get me fucked up.
Yeah. So Khonshu starts walking away in the sand, and then Steven follows him. Steven and Layla follows him. And then Khonshu's like, if you put on the suit and follow my movements, I can turn the night sky back to that day because I remember. So pretty much Khonshu just starts waving his hands, and Mark changes into Mr. Knight, and then they both start doing the exact same movements, and you see the sky and the sky and the stars, they just start like flipping, and like it looks like niggas are in a rave almost. So So and everybody sees it's not just them seeing it. Everybody that's looking at the sky can see this happening. And so, and then one thing before this, that when they were at the council, the gods were like, Khonshu, if you do any more outrageous display like how you made the moon earlier, we're gonna imprison you into stone. And so Khonshu pretty much tells them, this is gonna as soon as we do this, the gods are gonna take me. So they start turning back the time and everything. And as he's doing it, the gods are summoning like a little statue to imprison him in. Yeah. So Khonshu's getting weaker as they're doing this, but they turn the time back to like that night sky. They find out the coordinates, and then Khonshu gets taken by the gods and put into a little statue. And one thing while this is happening is what's his mind went blank. Arthur Harrow. Yeah, Arthur Harrow's character. While this is happening too, he's looking in the sky because his group is still digging into Amat's tomb. So he's looking in the sky and he's like, "Oh, Khonshu, they're gonna get you now."
Yeah, and they did.
Oh no, they definitely imprisoned that boy Khonshu, and as soon as they imprison him, Steven / Mark, he passed out.
Yeah. So then, pretty much, we know now that he's Mark and Steven and this third personality that I think they're gonna show. I don't know if they're gonna show it next episode, but we'll see. We'll probably see like an Easter egg for it, but we'll see like, I guess Mark and Steven kind of do these things with not the full strength of MoonKnight because Khonshu is imprisoned.
Yeah, and Khonshu provides the armor pretty much. He provides most of the upgraded powers, I guess you say, that they wouldn't have.
So then we kind of close that episode with Arthur Harrow seeing Khonshu in like his stone body, and I think he can hear him, but I'm not sure. When he grabbed the thing, I thought he was gonna break it.
I thought he was gonna throw that bitch on the ground.
I was like, yo.
I was like, y'all just gonna let him like have this hoe?
Here? And that made me think like, I think the Pantheon knows. Either they
have to know because they gotta know. Even when he was lying, it's like, come on, bro, you're
either they don't know.
So you're just around. You're just around to be around. You're not trying to summon nobody back.
Yeah.
So I think somebody on the Pantheon. I think if not all of them know, at least all of them except for, well, that one, the one that knows Khonshu, she knows too because she
Yeah.
gave him the information about the black market.
Yeah, she's probably the only one on the council that believes him.
Yeah,
But
but pretty much, Arthur Harrow's character, he looked at the statue and he was just like, oh no, I enjoyed working for you and like enacting vengeance upon your name.
yeah,
But I just want you to know that everything that happens from this point is because of you, or you made me. That's pretty much what he said.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
that
you
was-
broke me.
Yeah, that little dialogue was kind of oof.
Yeah. But and that closes out the third episode. The third episode, in terms of like ending and kind of leading us to what would be next, it didn't really give us much. I mean, I guess obviously we'll be seeing them going into the tomb, and I think by the end of episode 4 is when they'll probably reveal Amit, or like that's when we'll probably see Arthur Harrow summoning her and her coming into the MCU. And then I think also in episode 4, we're going to kind of see, like, I guess a little room that Steven and Mark are in, like, in terms of the personalities. And kind of go into that and, like, how they are in there, and, like, how that's like for them being trapped inside.
Like a mirror room almost.
I guess so, yeah. Like, how the personalities are inside of the head of Mark Spector.
Okay. Yeah, the third episode definitely was. For me, it was my favorite.
Yeah, that is definitely the best episode by far.
Yeah, and Oscar, I just want to say again, like I said, Oscar Isaac is killing this role.
Yeah, he is. Ethan Hawke is. Even the voice actor for Khonshu, I'd say he is too.
Yeah, Layla. I don't know the actress's name.
Yeah. Everybody's just doing very good.
Yeah, really, everybody
acting-wise.
on this show.
I think they are low key carrying the show. Like, if it was just a random, I'm not going to say random, but if they
weren't acting as good as they are right now,
the show would
be kind of flat.
Flat, yeah.
It would be like, okay, we have action, but it's very
mid.
Yeah, so their acting is definitely carrying this a lot higher than probably
show.
what maybe it could be. So yeah, they're definitely killing it.
Yeah. But that's pretty much episodes 2 and 3. Let us know what you guys think. Message us, or what I'm saying, call us. It's like
tweet us, DM us, all that.
DM us. Our DMs are open.
Yes,
our DMs are open. Our DMs are open. But so with that being said, we'll move into our next topic, which will be our Get in Our Bags section. So, y'all know how this goes for those viewers that have listened to us in the past, but for those who don't know, for this section, we just go into a topic that we pick randomly and kind of discuss that and give our points and our views on that. So pretty much for this section, will be read by Brother Ahmed.
Oh, I didn't all read it. My bad. Is it the one we talked about earlier?
Yeah. Well, it was so for this one, it'd be
the first or second one, because I remember both of them.
The second one.
Okay. All right. So for this Get My Bag section, right? We determined, or we thought about what anime world would Thanos from Marvel, the Mad Titan, best fit in. So we can either say, I won't even put parameters on it. What anime world would you think he would fit best in?
I would say he definitely would fit best in a Dragon Ball universe. I can definitely see him being like a Beerus-esque type character, or like just on that level, obviously. And Goku having to fight that dude. The choreography of that would be insane. It would have to be like a show where the main character is like a universal powerhouse. Like, it wouldn't make sense for him to be in a show like Naruto, obviously, because he could just literally throw the moon at him and they're done.
True. I took a different spin on it. I thought about it in a sense. I made him weaker than what he is, obviously, because he can control reality. But I made it where his powers are a little weaker. But I was thinking about more so like his dialogue with stuff. So I would, if I could put him in something, I would actually put him in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And his stones would be like philosopher's stones.
Damn,
That whole go crazy.
That'd be hard. And then, that'd be hard. I'd watch that.
Yeah, and then so the stones, they would be like on a smaller scale. So obviously the reality one would be more so like illusion type alchemy. The space one, it could, all the alchemy all the stones would be alchemy based, but they'll be on a smaller scale to fit this world.
Right.
But I would have him as for people that's seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. One of the main antagonists, besides obviously two of them that are kind of, I won't talk about them, but one of the main antagonists, his name is our father. So I would have him I would either have him be a homunculi, like Thanos be a homunculi that's made by them, and then he just obtains philosopher's stones like that. Or he could be somebody that's like, somebody that works with father, and then he gets philosopher's stones like that as a conduit, and that's how he uses his alchemy.
You know, I just thought of like, as you were explaining that, I would, it would be crazy if he was like in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and each stone is a stand.
Oh,
each stone is a stand. So the space stone is a stand, the time stone is a different stand, and he just all controls them by the gauntlet. That would be hard.
That'd be it.
That'd be crazy,
no,
nigga.
That'd
be crazy.
He has 6 stands.
Yada guess.
No, that'd be no.
And then the time stone would be the world.
World. Nah, that's live. That's live.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. What else? What other show?
I'm trying to think.
I don't imagine him in like what's a goofy ass show? In Mob. I can see him being in Mob Psycho.
That's his Esper ability. The stones.
That'd be funny as fuck.
He would beat Bob ass. No, Mob would actually beat his ass.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Now you know who would actually like wash Thanos though?
Who?
Reagan Arataka. That would be
self-defense rush.
He come out of nowhere with that self-defense rush, nigga. Thanos is done.
Nigga have a magazine to hit Thanos.
Yeah. Reagan wouldn't have missed the head.
Hell no. Reagan would have wrapped this shit up like
Reagan would have sniped the nigga. He would have sniped him.
Reagan would have released the article online.
Yeah.
No
powers.
Full Metal, JoJo's, and Mom. No, that would be 3 live ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Nah, those 3 would definitely be.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Now the JoJo's and Full Metal one are crazy.
Yeah, those would be crazy. Because as you were explaining that, I'm like, it'd be crazy if each stone was just like control the stand, and then somehow they could explain how. Well, this would probably be in like a different JoJo universe, because after part 7, it's in like a different timeline for those, and then same with part 8, it's a different timeline from the main, I guess, part 1 through 6 JoJo timeline. So it could be like a different timeline where like these stones control the different stands, or like control aspects of different stands, and then he gets them all, and then each one is a stand, and that would just be crazy. But yeah, and then I guess we could do the next one.
Oh, the next one was let me think. The next one was if Marvel. Are we doing Marvel or DC? You want to do DC since we did Thanos just now, or you want to stick with Marvel?
Yeah, you can stick with Marvel. Be consistent.
All right. So the next one was if Marvel was an anime world, pretty much, what would the structure of it be? Right. That was the question.
Yeah, I guess it'd be like the characters. It's like who would fit each anime archetype when it comes to like characters. So who would be like the shows or that the shows
like MC,
antagonists
all that
who would
stuff.
be the antagonist. I mean, obviously it'd probably be Thanos, or
let's just say comedy relief, all that stuff.
Because we know Thanos would be an antagonist. Let's just say after Infinity War.
Okay, after Infinity War, so
Thanos
Thanos is dead.
Yeah, Thanos is dead. Let's say that was to make a comparison. That's Naruto. We in Shippuden now. So
okay.
Who would be the main character?
Main?
And who would be the antagonist?
Okay.
Who would be like that little group? Obviously.
So we can. So we're just building it out.
Yeah, just building it out.
Okay. Ooh, I should have thought harder. I think my main. My main antagonist I would have in that anime, if it was an anime, that anime world would be Doctor Doom.
I was about to say that.
Because I would have Doctor Doom because I know the speeches he will give on that show would be crazy. He would be in his viral bag.
Yeah.
He'd be on his Irwin shit, nigga. His pain shit. So yeah, I would definitely have Doctor Doom. The main hero, if I had a hero, I'd have somebody youngish because it's an anime. You don't want old niggas. They'll be like the senseis. So I'm trying to think who's our new Avengers.
I would say for me, it'd probably be like, I guess, Tom Holland Spider-Man. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I was thinking Miles. I'm thinking Miles maybe.
I would say just for right now, the characters we know, it'd be Tom Holland Spider-Man or shoot, even Kamala Khan, like Miss Marvel.
Okay.
One of them. And then like the side character or like that, like main side character would be probably it'd be Ned. If it was Spider-Man. Ned Leeds.
I would have.
I'm bushing. It wouldn't be Ned.
If I had
it would be like, damn, I don't know.
So are we doing just MCU characters that are in the MCU, or are we doing comics?
MCU characters.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. He about to go crazy.
I was about to make my team from Ultimate Alliance. Okay, so if we're doing just MCU, I would do Miles Morales as the MC.
Mm-hmm.
I would do what's Wanda's kid's name? This is just the hero team that I'm making.
Billy and Tommy.
I would have
Wiccan and Speed.
I would have Wiccan and Speed. I would make them. They're not twins, right?
Or they twins?
They are. Okay, good. That makes it easier. I would have Wiccan. I would have Wiccan and Speed. I don't know why I forgot they were twins. I'd have Wiccan and Speed on there. And I'll just do 5 max. Just the team not big. I would have Camilla Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And then they need a sensei. So we'll do 5 and a sensei. So Camilla Khan, and then the last one I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know. But for the sensei, I would choose. It would be funny. Just because we're watching the show right now, I choose MoonKnight. Because it would be funny with him giving them orders and then like a different personality popping up. Because you know anime over exaggerate everything, so they'll have his face spaz out
like crazy.
I'm Steven now. Okay.
For me, I would keep the main character Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Okay.
For that team, I would have like Captain America on there, so the Sam Wilson one. And then I'd have Kamala Khan on there, but I'd have Kamala Khan as like the main side character.
Okay.
And then like the extras, I guess, like the ones on the team would be like Captain America, like Sam Wilson, Captain America. Thor would be on there.
Fuck, I forgot about Thor and all them.
Yeah. And then the sensei for me would be Doctor Strange. He'd be Doctor Strange because I was pretty much, to a degree, Tony Stark, and now that Tony Stark's dead,
Doctor Strange is kind of
Doctor Strange kind of moving into that role.
True.
Wanda would be like the anti-hero of the group. Like she'd be good, and then there'd probably be like an arc where she'd go bad or go dark, and they gotta go bring her back.
Okay, no, that's live.
And then she'd be like the anti-hero of the group. for me, the main character, it would not the main character. The main antagonist would be, like you said, either Doctor Doom or Kang the Conqueror. I would say probably. I would lean more towards Doctor Doom, but Kang the Conqueror would be like that first.
That first movie villain.
Yeah, that first movie villain. The first movie villain, and then the next one.
That goddamn One Piece Stampede villain.
They would go into that next Doctor Doom arc.
Okay.
That next war arc, which would be that war arc would probably be what's that shit called? It was like Battle World. Yeah, that would be the war arc at the end. It'd be like Battle Arc, and then that'd be like the multiversal one where you got Doctor Doom in control of this world, and then he has all these like variants of different heroes and villains on this world, and it's like you just gotta battle it out. It was just essentially what he did.
That's live.
So yeah, that pretty much would be my team. Everything else would stay the same. The worlds would stay the same. Each one would get a backstory. So that'd be in the shape of well, now since we in 2022, we can just do shows. So each one would get a show, probably like a limited series show.
Or just give them if it's an anime, just give them what's it called? OVA episodes?
Oh yeah, OVA episodes, OVA sections.
Give each of them like a 3-episode OVA.
You're exactly right.
When they start catching up to the manga, you gotta add filler in. So we'll do
add some filler in there. So they'll probably
3-episode backstory.
No, the filler for me would be like Deadpool shit.
Oh no, that would be hilarious.
No. So it'd be like just them doing some shit with Deadpool or something.
You'd have to introduce Deadpool season 1, and then after that, every filler he just pops up and he's just doing random stuff with them.
Just some random shit, either them or like Taskmaster. It'd be like Deadpool. Each filler would be either Deadpool, Taskmaster, or MoonKnight.
I would do.
Well, actually, no. MoonKnight would be on the team.
If I did filler, I would have Deadpool or Deadpool would be the funny part, and then I would have it like for the show. When I'm thinking like the atmosphere would be like kind of how My Hero is, because like it's serious at times, but a lot of times kind of like it tries to be lighthearted, but then it does get serious. But I would do some filler stuff with Punisher. Just to like throw
I would take out exactly. For me, I'm taking out Taskmaster, putting Punisher
off
in
the
there.
entire tone. You have like the niggas in one episode, they're all happy. Then they're with Punisher, just like I don't know if I want to do this hero stuff anymore.
Yeah, but that'd be my team. That'd be my world. And I think we each have pretty good, solid MCU animes. Next time we gotta do DC.
Yeah,
but yeah. So this has been another episode of Redacted. Hope y'all guys enjoyed this one. I know me and Feeq enjoyed recording this one. Make sure you guys follow us on all platforms. Make sure y'all share us on everything, Twitter, social media.
It goes a long way. Trust us.
Yes. Make sure y'all like us, share us, comment, DM us. Our DMs are open. Our DMs are open. Our DMs are open. Nah, I'm playing. But yes, don't be afraid to give us any ideas that y'all may have of like future shows. Mm-hmm. There'll also be guests appearing soon. We can't tell y'all when, but they will be appearing soon.
Yep, we line them up.
Line them bitch up. And yeah, this has been your boy Dane
and your boy Feeq.
And we'll see y'all later.
Peace.
Recipes call me, I'ma show 'em how to shoot. On the 4-5, jump in the ass, my crew. Yeah, I'm stepping with a fan, keeping all of the hoes on mute. Pull up park, could be yellow with a brew. 48 vert, quick burns. Crazy 8s in the back, yeah, the trunk on hot like a cue. 40 on me when I'm in the backseat. Blotter, paper pre-cut. Chris make juice, it'll drop like ink. Chain came with a clean plate, came with a sink. The Parator came with a mate. Tricones white like paint. My hoe by the hoe, cause she know it's my king. Hit on my side, cause I drop a song. Think you should hit up the link. The phenotype came from the pink Colombian thing. Yeah, the genetics unique. Cellular right on the beat. I'm teaching the hoe like I'm Play-Doh. I got the veggies like by the tomato. You got a basic hoe making Alfredo. I put a bag on the hoe on my pay. get active at night, then I lay low. The ceiling was braided with paint. Shrunk in my soup, I believe it was makeup. Got my Soviet clutching the Draco.